John, we're live.
Thank you. Waiting for confirmation, Chief.
Give me a second. Stream has been confirmed.
Thank you. Recording to the PC on the way.
Recording to the cloud is rolling.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's New York City Council vote for the Committee on State and Federal Legislation. At this time, please turn on your cameras for verification purposes. Thank you all. We are ready to begin, Chair.
All right, gaveling in. Good morning, everyone. I am Sean Abreu, Chair of the Council's Committee on State and Federal Legislation. Thank you for joining us for this morning's remote vote. Today, we'll be voting on Resolution 121, sponsored by my colleague council member, Natasha Williams. This resolution calls on the New York State Legislature to pass and the governor to sign the Clean Slate Act. This act would automatically seal conviction records for formerly incarcerated individuals who have completed their sentence, are off parole or probation, and have not incurred any new charges or convictions in New York State during the waiting period where the conviction to be sealed is not a sex offense. In New York State, more than 1 in 7 people has a conviction record. A criminal record creates serious hurdles for those who are trying to provide for themselves and their families. For example, background checks used during the hiring process can often impede a person's ability to find a job after they receive a conviction. Similarly, a conviction record also impacts an individual's ability to find stable housing, as some landlords are not willing to enter into a lease agreement with a tenant that has a criminal background, a practice that also contributes to segregation within housing. Housing insecurity is also associated with an increased risk of reoffending, creating a cycle of incarceration for many. If passed, the Clean Slate Act could have a monumental impact on the successful rebuilding of many New Yorkers' lives. Additionally, we'll be voting on 4 state legislative resolutions, also known as home rules, in support of state legislation in relation to New York City's Employees Retirement System, also known as Nycc, and New York City's Fire Department Pension Fund. S6980 would amend the Retirement and Social Security Law in relation to authorizing police and fire members of the New York City Fire Department Pension Fund to obtain credit for service as an EMT member. S6981B would address a long-standing disparity by exempting members of Nycc and the Board of Education Retirement System who make specific additional contributions but will not be in service long enough to receive the benefits from making additional member contributions. S6985B would provide automotive members of Nycc who begin their careers later in life with the ability to receive a vested retirement benefit. Lastly, 6988B would provide uniformed fire service personnel the opportunity to retire with a full pension after 25 years of service and would grant them parity with other uniformed service personnel who perform essential tasks. As chair, I want to note that the committee has received letters of support for each of these 4 SLRs from organized labor. I'm proud and excited to have my name on these state legislative resolutions as we work to give hardworking New Yorkers the retirement benefits that they deserve. I'd like to thank committee staff J. Street Ganapathy, William Diori, and Hector Helman. I also like to thank my staff member, Jaleesa Quigley. I'll now turn it over to Councilmember Williams for her statement.
Thank you, Chair Abreu, for holding this important hearing vote on the Clean Slate resolution. As you mentioned in your statements, 80% of New Yorkers with conviction records are Black and Latinx and face lifelong discrimination in jobs, housing, and education. We are here today to raise our voices and demand that New Yorkers have a fair chance not only to live, but to thrive. Clean slate will be transformative for so many New Yorkers who have been disproportionately impacted by criminalization. It still feels like 6 a.m. for me right now, especially those who face barriers to employment due to prior convictions or arrests that do not result in a criminal charge or conviction, but still appear on background checks or public record searches. Clean slate must be passed this year in Albany. Excuse me. With just weeks remaining in this year's legislative session, we need our state lawmakers to prioritize this urgent legislation. That is why I urge my colleagues to vote yes on Reso 121. I want to thank Speaker Adams, committee staff, central staff, and again, Councilmember Abreu for your leadership, and also our public advocate, Jamani Williams, for requesting this resolution. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Councilmember Williams, for your leadership on this issue. Clerk, may you please take the roll?
Matthew DiStefano, Committee Clerk, Committee on State and Federal Legislation. Roll call vote on Resolution 121 and the 4 pre-considered SLRs. All items are coupled. Chair Abreu.
Aye or no?
Gennaro.
I vote yes on all the home rules and no on Reso 121.
Della Rosa.
Aye or no?
Gutierrez.
Aye or no?
Marte.
Aye or no?
By a vote of 5 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions, the items have been adopted with the exception of Resolution 121, which was adopted by a vote of 4 in the affirmative, 1 in the negative, and no abstentions. Chair, that is a full committee. You may adjourn at your convenience.
Thank you so much. And I'm here to gavel out. Thank you all so much.